welcome to the new episode of the Short Film Show. This week I've sat down with Stuart, Wright and Clive Ashenden, the filmmakers behind the exciting thriller Out of Hours. So, welcome, and could you tell us something about the movie?
Okay, well,
About the story, or how did it coming up?
well, the film started with Clive and I wanting to do a writing project together, and we'd started off running around with some ideas on a feature, and then we were also considering what we needed to do to get access to Cannes Film Festival, i.e. the short film corner. So we figured a good practical exercise would be to do a short film, which is Out of Hours. So in January 2012, we started to bang heads about what that idea might be, and we're very much looking to do genre pieces together, so we thought we'd make the short a genre piece, which was really nice that Raindance ended up putting together a group of films under the banner of thrillers. And once we got that idea, that sort of decided, it was kind of where can we go, and at the time in my day job I worked in a nice office block on Tottenham Court Road, and Clive, appealing to Clive's directorial sense and our low budget wanting high production values, I said we've got a 9-story roof, we can get some views of London. So we went and checked that out.
I think I actually said, didn't I?
Yeah.
If only we had a roof.
Yeah.
And you said, funny you should say that.
That's right, yeah. And we did, one Saturday we went up there and had a look, and it was kind of, right, well, we've got to shoot a film here. Because on the way up, we went through, if anyone that's seen the film who's watching this interview, the chase down the stairwells, I walked Clive up those stairwells, and Clive was like, yeah, that'd be good for a chase scene. And then it was like, I'll show you the car park underneath, and then it was the strip-lit car park. And then I guess it started to play into your kind of Michael Mann ambitions and the like of using the real world as opposed to building sets, and that's what we did. We approached the building manager, and he said, nobody's in here at the weekend, so if you want to use the building, you can. So we set about solving the problem of writing a film for that building, based on the fact we could get the roof, the stairs, an office, the complete front lobby, which was production values to the roof, wasn't it, Clive, compared to...
It was. I mean, I guess you could say this film was reverse engineered, really, because of the way we kind of built it. But so then we kind of went back to kind of thriller basics, because we were really looking at making a thriller. So Out of Hours is the story of an office worker, a single mother, who's working almost alone in her office building at the weekend. And while she's there, she witnesses the murder of her boss by 2 hitmen, and is forced to run for her life and try and escape. As the director, I was very much thinking of that it was, there is a kind of literal descent into hell for our main character. So she starts off, she's in a bright, well-lit office, and and then she goes, like Alice, she goes, down and down and down until she's in this strange kind of twilight world where, the normal rules that she's used to just don't apply.
And obviously you don't get Alice's name, but you get a few other references to Alice in Wonderland, like the security card says that Mr. Lepan has been, and things like that. So that's there, isn't it, on the page, but on the screen, that's a kind of layer that's just below.
This has been the first project that you've done together.
Yes.
As co-writer and producer and director. How could all the things manage together?
An editor, by the way, as well.
An editor.
Well, I mean, I guess it was a case of needs must, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the important thing to say, because I recently was at a short film seminar, they were talking about 3-year periods to make a 12-minute film. We started mid-January and we had it in the can, ready to send out to people April 2012. So in the space of
it was completed by mid-April. In the can makes it sound like we just shot it.
Sounds. Oh, sorry. Yes. No, we were ready to go to give to people in 4 months' time. So I think I don't know how many rewrites we did. 4 maybe? Of the 6. Yeah. So. And it was a case of we had a window of time to do it when certain actors were available who we wanted to play the roles, and then the weather was good for us. The day we've shot on the roof, we managed to get almost like post-production clouds in the blue sky. It wasn't like that, you know, and that's February. We couldn't have hoped for that kind of day on a February.
So in a way, when during the time you're writing the script, you're thinking about the production as well, how to do it. So it's the reason because you think about at the place and actors maybe, or what else?
Well, I mean, we kind of, because of co-producing, the way we kind of split it up was that Stuart almost took the location manager's job because he worked in the building, so he knew the people there, he had all the contacts, and I kind of handled the casting. There were certain actors I'd worked with before I wanted to work with again on other shorts I've made, and there were other people who I'd seen in other filmmakers' films who I had kind of picked, you know, had in mind if they were available. So I mean, it was very low budget. So there was always a case of, you know, people, you know, being very upfront with people about, you know, that this is essentially an expenses only gig, and you know, but you know, being very clear that everyone involved would get copies for their show reel, and you know, and I think
3 meals a day.
Yes, and they will be fed. Very important.
And how long does it take shooting? I mean, the days of shoots, the difficulties that you find during the shoot.
Should have took 4 days, but we had to return. So the 4-day shoot went great, didn't it, Clive?
It did. It went to schedule. We shot. They were kind of long days, weren't they? But they weren't, you know, 12-hour days.
And then 8 o'clock, a few Fridays afterwards, Clive was busy one night trying to sort out the edit and said to me, "Where's the camera 2 file?" So I said, "It's there." As the jobbing camera assistant on it, I lost some film in the process of making the film, and I would, and therefore that ended up being the extra shoot that we did. So my advice there would be to look at how you're capturing your film, what film if you're shooting on cards, then either have a lot of cards, or have a process for making sure when they come in, they go out having been downloaded. That'd be the thing that we learned from it quite hard, because we ended up doing the extra day.
As regards the post-production, you did it by yourself, I think. The post-production.
Yeah, I edited and did all that myself. Yeah, I mean, and obviously we had our composer Neil Myers, who I was worked closely with in terms of, you know, designing how the sound was going to work. But yeah, it was kind of like Stuart just came in with a bunch of drives, like, off you go.
Yeah, it was at that point, because I'd kind of been sort of getting things ready, making sure things were there on the day and stuff like that, you know, going around town bringing things in. But obviously once we produced it, once it was in the can at that point, then I couldn't sit over his shoulder and go, that bit. It was kind of, that was where, although, you know, as it was coming together, he needed a view at that point. But yes, it was a lot of hard work that I couldn't really help with at that point.
Are you thinking to work on another project together?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think that's. I think one of the experiences I got was Clive obviously introduced me to a whole group of people. Keith Isles, who plays the kind of CEO character, was also worked as first AD on it as well, and was in the pre-production was full of advice for me to help me get my head around what was needed to be done. And I think as a group of people, we all do well, and it's one of the things that I take a great deal of pride from, is that we did have a happy set, didn't it? It was a happy set. That's why
it was.
We were able to stretch those. People were happy to cut. Well, not happy is the right word, but they were willing to do the extra scenes. You know, there was no dismay. There was no dramas other than what we wanted to shoot.
And how was the Raindance experience?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, initially we had the sort of kind of pleasant news going in that our screening had been moved to a bigger size cinema because they sold out the smaller one, and then they sold out the bigger one. So that's what you want to hear, isn't it? That you know, the screening sold out. It's going to be full of people in there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're not all there just for our film, but
they were all talking about it, Clive. Don't worry about it.
Were they? You think?
Yeah, it was all very positive.
But no, it played very well, and you know, we both kind of gave a sort of couple of words of introduction, and then yeah, I mean, it's almost like, you know, even if you finish the film, you know, it doesn't feel like the film is truly complete until the film meets the audience.
For me personally, I mean, in January 2009, I did Elliot's introduction to screenwriting. That was my first taste. So to be just over 3 years later, be showing a filmmakers festival, it's not a bad turnaround.
Have you got any kind of advice to give to young directors or producers or writers?
Do you want to take the advice of young writers part?
Well, generally about the writing and the production side of it would be, if you don't ask, you don't get. I mean, I've known my building manager for 10 years. I never thought of asking him to shoot a film there, but that simply wasn't a big bridge to cross. From the writing side, I think from both of us, if it needed doing, it needed doing. You'll get the best you can. If you're willing to put the effort in and have the thought behind it, then go for it. Don't be afraid of the fact that you've got a short timeline if that's what you've got, because you'll do the best you can.
So many filmmakers I talk to, everyone's always waiting for that little bit more money. They want it to be so good. They want it to be perfect, this perfect jewel. But it's better just go out and shoot the thing. Just go out and do it. Make something that you love, because that is what is going to come across on screen. Not you going through a rote genre exercise. So yeah, love. It's all about love.
And hopefully that's what comes across in ours.
Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you soon, maybe for our next project.
Indeed.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Thanks for watching. Have you missed the previous one? Click here. Do you like it? Subscribe to the channel. Have you got any comments to do? Write down here. And if you're a short filmmaker, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.